right next to us, we have a fantastic individual, of course, another war hero, vet himself. For those of you that have the internet and a lot of time on your hands, I'm sure you tune in to Mr. Frankie Firme. Let's have a round of applause for him.
Thank you.
Hey, that's called a microphone. I know
Yeah,
you're not
it
used
works
to
really
it.
well.
Hey, look at that voice, huh? Isn't that amazing? So what's up, Frankie? What's the latest? What are you guys up to?
Well, you know, I think I was listening to your last guest, and they were some great bunch of guys. But I think that it has to be also stated for everybody watching the show and everybody in the house that, you know, all veterans, we're not derelict, and we're not all homeless, and a lot of us are productive. You know, it's sometimes when you have people that are asking for assistance for the homeless veterans and the disabled veterans, you forget to mention that there's a whole lot of veterans still functioning in life, you know, and I'm part of a couple of organizations like the Marine Corps League and the American Legion, which is founded and made up and functions by veterans for veterans. So being a veteran doesn't mean we're just reaching out asking for help. You know, a lot of veterans organizations are giving back to the community. And we want people to know that going into the military didn't mess us up and make us all derelict. And for a while, there was a really bad stereotype of Vietnam veterans being these out of control, violent, non-productive people. And, you know, it set us back. It was hard for us to get a lot of benefits established, and it was hard for us to reinstall the GI Bill. And, you know, a lot of veterans fought for that, and a lot of organizations and historical facts were established by veterans. The Wounded Warriors Program was established by veterans. The Vietnam Memorial Wall was established by veterans. A lot of the programs, these gentlemen here, are veterans. We're all walking, talking, functioning members of society. We're members of government. We're members of the military, still members of law enforcement, musicians, entertainers, people of all walks of life. And I think people need to get that impression that there may be almost 1 million veterans, and that's a big number, that are homeless. But there's over 7 million veterans in this country still functioning and making contributions to our society.
Okay, let's hear it for her. Come on, man. That's the vets. Here's another guy. You know what I love about the vets? They're all so shy. They're afraid to talk about themselves. You know, just amazing, man. So, you know, how's the show going?
The show is going really well. We got well over 2 million listeners around the world. EastLAReview.com. We're bringing the Eastside, West Coast Chicano rock and roll sound to the entire world. And we have listeners all over the world.
So can you tell me a little bit about your program?
I didn't
Your
hear
show?
you. Well, we're a worldwide internet radio program, heard 24 hours a day on the internet. I think the letters here should say EastLAReview.com. Okay, and what we do, we play oldies but goodies, Latin soul, rock and roll, classic rock and roll, done by a lot by the original artists and done by a lot of contemporary artists. You might see my friend on the drums, he might be on a radio show. What we're trying to do is keep the music alive. We have this, how we say, dedication to staying true to the music. A lot of the original artists are getting up there, and they can't perform like they used to. But we have a lot of young artists, I say young guys under 60.
Ray Carrion.
You know, that can still play it and put it out. And we got to keep this music alive. One of our dedications and one of our inspirations is that, you know, classical music originally done in Europe is over 500 years old. They didn't have radios and recordings and DJs back then. But yet, now, classical music is a multi-billion-dollar worldwide industry and cultural phenomenon. Why can't we do that with West Coast Chicano rock and roll?
That's right. Let me tell you, man, that's what it's all about. We started our channel back in '89, and we're doing Eastside Primetime since '94. And the thing is, in fact, you have one of our former co-hosts, Chico, does his show there on there. And when you're talking about, we lost our beloved original band leader, Bobby Espinosa, a year ago. And we've been very blessed because Tim's keeping on carrying the torch. And I really, really appreciate all the fact of what you're doing out there, Frankie. And tell us more, Uncle Frankie. I love the stories of Aslan.
Basically, what's happening is a few years ago, we began to notice since 1973, they cut the draft. So there's no longer an endless supply of men coming into the Army and into the military. And since the mid-'80s, high school dropouts can no longer join the military. So the standards are very high, but what you got here is the military numbers are a lot smaller, but the worldwide protective responsibilities are a lot larger. So the veterans we have now have a heavier burden because they're less numbered. So we at the American Legion and the San Fernando Valley Marine Corps League, we want to recognize that not only when you come back from the service, they don't have to be disabled, they don't have to be derelict, but anybody that's ever been in the military, it's a very unique lifestyle. It's not for anybody. And a lot of people don't get in, and a lot of people that did make it and got booted out. But the ones that did pull a complete military tour, it's a certain way of life that you learn to get along with people a certain way. And that doesn't leave you once you get out. And once you get out, a lot of military veterans miss that brotherhood. They miss that brother,
camaraderie, yeah.
Carnalismo.
Carnalismo, I love it, man. Hey, this man.
And it comes in
round
all
of
different
applause, man.
colors,
Let's hear it for carnalismo.
Carnalismo. And that comes in all colors because we got 12 flavors and 3 shades of color of Latinos. We come from all over the place.
Oh, I know, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I'm
what-
dark, you're wetter, you're wetter,
we
you're in
got-
the middle.
hey,
It's like we come in all flavors.
we got Avi, she's vanilla.
And all of us served in the military bravely. Everybody took a chance of getting shot. So, whether they were in combat or not, a lot of veterans put themselves on the line. Or as we say in the military, you put yourself in the checkbook, which meant that you were willing to write a check to protect this country with your life if need be. And until they got out, they held that responsibility. And just because they got out, it doesn't mean they're any less responsible. And we're out there making it in the world, and we're out there providing, a lot of support to youth organizations, to the community, giving back some. What we're doing in San Fernando, we're doing a lot of music shows, a lot of fundraising, a lot of community. We have a Toys for Tots. We give holiday dinners. We help support the families of veterans. We have funeral. We have a color guard for funeral. We have a bereavement fund. We have assistance, food and emergency assistance for a veteran, no matter what age. They hit hard times. They don't have to be homeless, but they hit hard times. We're there to help them. It's brothers and sisters helping brothers and sisters.
Well, that's the way it should be. And let me tell you, man. Hey, man, you want to give a shout out because, we are going to the internet, so we want to make sure the people overseas know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I want to give a big shout out to all my brothers serving right now all around the world in the military. Thank you for your sacrifice. You're not forgotten. Thank you all my brother veterans who have served in the past. God bless those who are no longer with us. Thank you for your service. To give a shout out to all the people in San Fernando, my beautiful golden-haired lady, and all my family here in East LA.
Can I have that website again, please?
The website is www.eastlareview.com. Coast to coast, heard around the corner, around the block, and around the world.
Well, we're trying to catch up to you, man. We're trying to catch up to you on Eastside Primetime. I want to thank you once again, Frank, for taking the time. Come on down here, brother.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to be back at you right now. We're going to have a little bit more music, and then we'll come back just to close out the show and tell you what's coming up next because we have a big surprise for Father's Day. We got to work it out with Rudy, and we also have a very touching episode thanks to AV. We're going to have a special Eastside Primetime dealing with the rare disease, genetic disease, Huntington's chorea, which will be coming in July. So you want to stay tuned for that here on Eastside Primetime. Okay.